All right, sorry, I'm just a couple minutes late, maybe 4 minutes late. But anyway, I am here. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? Hope you guys had a wonderful week. I know it was a pretty good week for me. Let's see, training at work is going pretty good, although the workload is pretty strong. But tis the season for us at Parks and Rec Agency. The weather is great right now, but it is going to be a little wet tomorrow, as I hear. And my friend Sarah and I are going to hike in the rain for the very first time. We need to experience that cold, wet rain because we know in August we will definitely have a lot of cold, like it'll be warm, wet rain, not cold, but it'll be warmer. So refreshing, I guess, but we need to know what it feels like to be soaking wet. So we are challenging ourselves tomorrow, and we're leaving at 6:30 in the morning to head over to Western Vermont, and we're gonna check out the long trail and hike. Our goal is to hike. It's going to be 12.1 miles, and we know we both can do that because we are powerful, right? Women are pretty powerful. All right, so so this is a great class if you love nature, especially the March paper pumpkin Beyond the Horizon. Of course, you guys know I love it. Love mountains and all that kind of good scenery. This is perfect for me. So these are the cards on the left that came. I made them like they come in the kit. These are going to be my alternatives on this side. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the next month. So April's, you have until April 10th to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. And the month is Change is Beautiful. So I kind of printed out what is in the Change is Beautiful Paper Pumpkin. Now, you can go month to month, 3 months, 6 months, or a full year. I've chosen to do the full year just because I want to bring this to you guys every single month. But Change in Beautiful, I printed it out and it says the kit is going to include a number of projects. So you're going to have 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs in 9 envelopes. Change is Beautiful photopolymer stamp set. Melon Mambo Classic Stampin' Spot. Now, I haven't used Melon Mambo in such a long time, but we're getting into spring, and those are the springy colors for us. You're going to have printed card bases, printed envelopes, printed shaped die cuts, and iridescent sea glass. All right, who doesn't love sea glass? And dimensionals. Excuse me. And it says that the card sizes, you're going to be your A2 size card, which is what we have today. Then it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then your coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors are Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Bermuda Bay, Crushed Curry, there's that Evening Evergreen again, Granny Apple Green, and Melon Mambo. See, Stampin' Up! Even uses that color, my favorite green color. So they use it quite a bit. So before I go into Paper Pumpkin, I'm going to do what I got in the mail. All right. So some of you know it was my birthday on the 5th, which was Tuesday. So I got quite a few cards, and I hope I have them all here. But I wanted to just give them a little look because anybody that sends me a card, I will post it here on YouTube, or I will post it on my live on Facebook, which is on Monday, so make it Monday. So here we go with a Daffodil Afternoon, and stamped in, I think, Old Olive there, because that's what the card base is. And this is from Marianne, and Marianne may be on here. Marianne is part of my team, the Inspired Daisies. And then we have, let's see, Kathy is up next. This was kind of fun because she put that in there. And then we got a nice little kitty cat with some butterflies, and this little ribbon here reminds me, I told her it reminds me of my grandmother. So I got this in the mail, and then, and here's the inside here, and she stamped in a yellow there. And then this is kind of like a little pouch, So I love how she layered all this and embellished it with some rhinestones and lots of different layers. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including the sentiment layers. And then if you open it up, there'll be a few that are missing, of course. I think Kathy's on here. Yes. Well, I had some chocolates in here. I have never had these before. And so they are very tasty, like dark. I'm going to save that for my hiking trip tomorrow. And then what else do I have left in here? Another dark. So I am super excited about that. I've got some chocolate to get me through the hike, and I've already eaten 2. So thank you so much, Kathy. I'm just going to put these right back in here so I don't see them because I might want to eat them. All right, and then here's another one with that famous Daffodil Afternoon. I can't remember who sent this to me because it's not signed. I think it was Carol, but I'm not 100% sure. Carol M. From Inspired Daisies. And then this is from Pam G. I did see that she was on here. So she really makes some interesting cards, and she takes lots of time making her cards. So she used the rectangle postage stamp punch, and that's carrying over to the 2022-2023 annual catalog. But what is not is that Tasteful Textures embossing folder, which is a bummer. But that's okay because we have fabulous punches that will be available. So then you open it up, and this is fresh freesia, by the way. And then you open it up, and then here's this really fantastic note from her. And then over here, we've got some sweet little balloons here. Time to celebrate. And then a little note there. Pam does a great job with her stamps, like postage stamps, and it's super fun. So thank you, Pam. And then coordinating envelope there, of course. And she always sends me back my cello bags from any kits that she purchases or card club. She's a member of the monthly card club. All right, and then here's this one. This is one of the kits from Stampin' Up! That actually I gifted a whole pack of these to one of our care providers that takes care of my mom and dad 6 days of the week. So she sent me a birthday card, and there you go. And this actually is for my grandmother's. I used the crochet thread on this card here. And then here's another one from Christine. She's also a member of the Inspired Daisies team. I love how she created this little butterfly here. I asked her how she blended it all, and she used alcohol markers. And then on the inside, she put her designer series paper strip up here. I've never seen that. So I might give that a try as well. And then here's a nice little note. And then finally, I have a nice little gift here in, excuse me, Debbie F. I don't know if you're on here, probably not. But I left my card on my work desk. But isn't this really cute? She made a tag. And then she made this little box out of designer series paper. And these handles are like that, oh, what do you call it? Ribbon, like packaging ribbon, gift ribbon. So they got a nice little box there. And then in the inside, you guys, I have been wanting one of these like forever, right? So she read my mind. Okay, this is, maybe you guys already have them. Karen's like last to the show here. But it's a glue holder. And it says flower bug on it. So Leanne Greff, she's a $1 Million Achiever with Stampin' Up. She, I think her husband makes these, and it's out of a 3D printer. So extremely sturdy, and it sits right there on my desk, and hopefully I won't lose my multi-purpose liquid glue. So that is our mail for this week. Thanks again, everybody. Much appreciated. I had a good birthday. It was actually really quiet. And got a few calls from my kids and my grandsons. And yeah, it was just really quiet. Okay, so paper pumpkin for this month. All right, so here are the cards. I'll show you what we are going to be making. These are the ones that came in the kit. So these are the ones you would have made. There were 9 card designs. And using the patterns and the colors from, Oh, geez, oh, I can't, on the Horizon Designer Series paper. It was just in my card club and in my retreat. You'd think I would remember, right? So again, here's a nice little, I mean, I didn't design the insides, and then here's this really nice mountain scene here. And it came with these like, they look like, oh, iridescent rhinestones, but a little different color. All right, so that's the normal cards. So then the cards that I made are my alternatives. This one I don't know. I really had a hard time trying to stamp a good color that would go with this pattern here, but I gave it a try. I used Pool Party and Night of Navy. I don't have Misty Moonlight, so I kind of try to get by with Night of Navy. And then here's Congratulations. And these little pieces here, the green and the blue, are all in the kit and they're die cuts. This vellum I added and I embossed it with a gingham embossing folder, which is so exciting, it's carrying over from to the annual catalog. And then here's this one. I love this one. I didn't want to do much of anything to this one because I don't want to cover this up. So what I did was I used the die cut that you'll see in just a second, and I sponged it, used it as a stencil to represent maybe the moon, or I mean, excuse me, the sun, and Time to Celebrate. And then here's the mountain range, which I just added a little bit of Wink of Stella around the mountain range there. And then I splattered with Wink of Stella. And again, this is the inside. This one here is kind of a puzzle piece, really. It's a 3 strip. It's cut down to 1 1/8. And I honestly can't remember. I gotta probably get my ruler out, Mark's ruler for this one. So this one's really fun. And then on the inside, we used some die cuts here for our white, and this is an envelope. So we will cut down an envelope. And then here's one that is totally different because for the month of March, you got a extra stamp set. So I wanted to use that. That totally does not resemble any kind of mountain scenes or nature. So here's the one that we will be making tonight. So there's going to be a lot of using that Stampin' Scrub because I used it on a lot of different colors there. So probably save this one to the last. So if you guys don't have any questions, we will get started making our alternatives. And we're going to go through the kit first itself. So this is normally paper pumpkin boxes almost all the time come in orange. But this one's kind of special. It's got this nice little coloring here. It resembles the card base here, all right? And then if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it is a kit. It's $23.50 a month, and that includes shipping. They always have the name on the edge, on the end. This is called Beyond the Horizon, March 2022. So you always will know if you if you do not make your Paper Pumpkin kits, you will always remember what date or what month and year it was produced. And then if you want more of them, sometimes they have kits available. So there's a Stampin' Up! Item number. And then on the side here again is the name. These make great shipping boxes too. So I have my Easter Friends card kits ready, almost ready to go. I'm trying to make the mail tomorrow, but I'm not really sure if I can. And I have to put them in my mailbox because I'm going super early. Meeting Sarah, and the mail or the post office doesn't actually open until 7:30, so I won't make it there. But all right, in any event, we're going to get started. Almost started. So we have a coordinating stamp set and a bundle that goes with March's Paper Pumpkin. So they always like to do coordinating stamp sets and dies or punches. So this is the one that coordinates with March. And then, let's see, here's that change is beautiful. It is, it's kind of a sneak peek of what April is going to be. And they always say that beautiful things take time, but with April's kit, you'll make beautiful creations in no time at all. And so that's kind of what that one is. And then here's your paper pumpkin instructions. So again, if you're not familiar with this, I'll go through it, but if you are totally familiar with it, well, go get your beverage or use the bathroom or run around your house and get some exercise and come back in just a couple minutes. They always come with instructions and they're pretty thorough. So you've got the design that tells you exactly where the glue dots go for your adhesive. It shows you where your Stampin' Dimensionals go right here. It shows you what ink spot to use and then your step-by-step to get to the final. And then here, you can't see it probably, but it says that you will use 5 of those embellishments. And then so here, just some more, 3. And then on the side, there's always a ruler. This one goes all the way up to 18. And then on the back is one more. And then on the way back side is going to show you exactly what's in the kit. So you can cross-check to make sure you have everything. And then there's alternatives that you can also search to get Stampin' Up! Or the coordinating web URL. So you'll know what coordinates with it is stampinup.com/paperpumpkin-coordination. The kit components are here, and it also tells you exactly what colors will go with the kit. So for instance, March is Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Olive, and Pale Papaya. So that's our instruction sheet. Also comes with this really thick chipboard that I always keep. I like to use those for shipping. So I do like to use lots of different, or try to recycle as much as I can. The dies we're going to be using, I know where I did with them. I put them in the kits itself. All right, so then we also have, I know I'm missing some things, the Misty Moonlight ink block. I'll find them eventually. But so here you go. So these are the glue dots. I tend not to use them. I save them for my customers. If I have something I want to send them, I might throw something in there. Here's the little iridescent little rhinestone-y things. Super fun. And then we've got some little pieces. So these are all the die cuts that were included. I already popped them out. So here's that little stencil we're going to use. And that's in Pale Papaya. These are just scraps that when I cut down an envelope. So I'll put these over here. This is a little banner that kind of looked like this. And I cut it in half. I didn't do a very good job stamping there. So I'm just going to put that one aside. Here's the mountain scene. Again, you can flip it over to the other side to make it all snow. All right, so I'll probably keep it blue. Another banner. You've got these foliages in Bumblebee. Then you've got this other foliage in the greens, so Old Olive. Lots of little die cuts, and you have extras, you guys. That's what I like about Paper Pumpkin. You always have some extra. Now here's some grass. I guess it's grass in Old Olive. And then I have another foliage that will go like over here. I've got 2 of those left. I've got another one of these Old Olive kind of grassy things. And then what else? I've got another scrap from my cutting of my envelope. I've got another Evening Evergreen. And then they also give you an Evening Evergreen mountain scene. You got another little banner. You've got some whites that's embossed, and it kind of is very similar to the gingham. That's why I chose the embossing with the gingham embossing folder on the vellum, because it kind of resembled the white. And then I've got another blue. So you get a lot of die cuts in it. You don't need a die cutting machine. You can just punch them out. So here's another, there's a white banner. Here's another green mountain. Here's another banner that looks like that. Another white. So you can see there's lots of fabulous goodies here. And then, let's see, this one, it goes there. And then this one here has got that little banner edge there. Okay, so I have quite a few things left. And then here is what's left of the one that I used as a stencil. I kept it just in case I wanted to use it for something. Okay, kind of looks like a face. There's the eyes and the nose and the mouth. You can totally see that, hopefully. Let me see. Can you see that? Kind of looks like a face, right? I don't know. It does to me. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna put these all in the basket because I will need them. But with your filming, you do not have much space to work with. So I'm going to do my best not to screw up here. And everything that I need to use, I'm going to keep close to me. So if you're interested in subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, you can subscribe right through me. And I have it in the description, the URL to do that. Now, you're not going to be able to get this one because it's past the deadline, but you will be able to get April if you sign up by the 10th of the month. That is the cutoff date. So very similar to my card club, I always have a cutoff date for card club. That's always the 20th of the month. So I still have that one. You're able to still register for that one. I will show at the end of the video, the live tonight, exactly what April Card Club looks like. Okay, so we're going to start with the easy one first. And this is what it looks like. All right, very simple. We only want to use very little like embellishments because you don't want to just, I think you want to just keep that as good as possible. Now you can see I've got lots of different pieces that I've cut. These were envelopes. I'm going to keep them because you can use these as envelope flaps. This was a white, you could stamp on that. And then let me show you the envelopes itself. So here's this one in Pale Papaya and the Old Olive on the inside. You have 3 of those, but I've got 2 left. And then here's this one. And then here's that little pattern. Now, that's the card I want. And then you also have the green. Now, I've got these all paper clipped because I don't want to lose these. All right, so we're going to work with this one. And the color item, I chose to use Crushed Curry, actually, not Bumblebee. One, because I don't have those in colors. So I got something that's very close to what I want to use. So we're going to open this up. And I have a sponge dauber here that's pretty much on its last leg there. The other thing I have here is my stencil. Okay. Then I have a, let me just see, where did it go? Because I need it. Okay. So I created this little, this is just white cardstock. I punched this out with 1 3/4 inch circle punch. You could use your layering circles. And then I kind of just put this on here where I wanted it to go. And then I added the die. So I wanted the Pale Papaya up in front. And then, so actually, I'm going to put this on first so I'll be able to see that first layer. So this is supposed to resemble the sun. And then this is going to go over top of it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's going to be easier for me to keep this die in place. Okay, so basically it's not a lot of, it's basically like you're pouncing on this because it's so, it's kind of flimsy in its paper. So like a stencil is more like with your kind of plasticky, feel to it. This is just paper, so that's why you got to kind of keep it together as much as you can. So you can see I'm a little struggling when I get over here. Your hands will get inky. So don't worry about that. Again, I'm still trying to get, oh shoot, I messed up. Oh boy. Oh, it's not too bad. I'll stop right here because I don't think I will be able to get that lined up really good. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. because that actually turned out pretty good. So I'm not really sad about that. And we'll keep this one because I'm going to use it on another card, and it's changed its color. You can also use the white if you wanted that showing too. So I'm gonna just close that up. Then the next color I'm gonna bring in is the Night of Navy. And then I've got white. So this is, I think this is the one I used. And you will also use your piercing mat because we are using photopolymer stamps. So time to celebrate. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stamps over onto my side here. So just bear with me. I gotta find it. All right, so time to celebrate. This is on my paper pumpkin block that I got a long time ago. Your first paper pumpkin, they always give you a block. So you have something to start off with, especially if you're a new stamper. This is really hard to see because I'm white on white. So let's see if I can get that straight. All right, so that's not too bad. That is all the stamping that we are going to do on this card. I'm not going to stamp my envelopes because they're really pretty just as is. So then let's move this out of the way. We're going to take our paper snips, and then I'm just going to simply angle cut this banner just that way. And I want to make sure this one goes that way as well. And then let's bring our card in. We're going to put our mini Stampin Dimensionals on this little banner here. I feel that the larger ones could be a little bit too large, so I chose to use the minis. I'm going to just use 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And just press them down really well, and then you can just peel them off with your sharp point of the take your pick tool. Now this is going to go on wherever you want to put it. So it's really hard because it's so pretty, right? Just as is. But I'm going to drop it down here just a little bit. And I'm just on the sun just a little bit, but that's okay. I still want to see this mountain range because it's just gorgeous. And you can see it looks like these are irises, purple irises down here. So that's just a nice little different color with the purple. So then I said I was going to, I put some Wink of Stella on it. So I will do that next. This is a glitter brush pen. So it's got your little alcohol in there and your glitter, and it just adds a nice little sparkly effect. You can add it down here because we know the water sparkles when the sun's hitting it. And then your other choice is to just do your tapping technique here with just tapping it all over the front of the card. Make sure there's nothing around your surface that you don't want to have Wink of Stella on it, because I can just see some that splattered all the way up here. So definitely keep your projects away. And then we'll cap this. I'm totally not looking at comments, you guys. I'll look at them at the very end because I got to stay focused on this paper pumpkin. All right, then the last step are these little rhinestone-y, I'll call them iridescent rhinestones. And I'm just going to add 3 of them. And as you can, oh, I forgot to stamp the birds. Ooh, so I wanted to use that stamp set. Let me see if I can totally sneak these birds in. I might be able to, I might not. Maybe I will put them over here on this side. So this stamp is very hard to know what is the top, like what is the top and what the bottom is. So I put an arrow on the stamp itself. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that helps me know which way to stamp. So I'm going to take my Night of Navy ink, and I'm going to try my best to stamp this without screwing up here, this beautiful card. So light taps, and then I don't want them well, it could be flying in front of the mountains. That's fine. All right, so I'm just going to stamp down here. This, you don't want to rock your block because it's easy to do that. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so see that? That just adds a little bit more to the cards to get a nice little special effect. Again, that's from New Horizons stamp set, which has been very popular. All right, so now we're just going to add those 3 little rhinestone, iridescent rhinestones, I guess I'll call them. And I'm going to add 2 up here, and then I'm going to add 1 probably over here just to offset it. Let me see. Yeah, over here just to offset it a little bit. So that is this card here. Now, what envelope goes with it? Probably, it doesn't really matter to me because they all kind of go together. So I'm not going to pull those envelopes out. Actually, let me see. Yeah, it's not that one, and it's not, could be this one, I guess. Pale papaya. I don't know. They all kind of go because all the colors are in the cards itself. So number 1, we just finished that one. And then let me just put these in front of each other. So here's this is with the kit, and then this is my alternate. So you can kind of see what they had us do here. And here's that little kind of die cut I used to make the stencil of the sun. All right, so 2 different looks for you. And then the next one I will make, let's see what's on the next pile. So this is the Vellum card, which is this one here. So I've got a lot of little pieces here again. I'm going to use some basic white for this one, I believe, because the congratulations is just a little bit too big and it's not long enough for the banner that they gave us. So I'm just taking a scrap of the basic white that I have. All right, so I'm going to kind of put some of the little things together that I can get out of the way. So here is that vellum, and I embossed it already with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss. You need to use the larger machine because it's one of the bigger folders. And it's called Gingham embossing folder, and you can use it either way. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take my card base, and I'm going to take some Stampin' Seal Plus, and the reason why it's much stickier than our Stampin' Seal. Did you guys notice how I angled my Stampin' Seal Plus? I will do this in Seal 2. I learned this from my demonstrator that leads the Northeast side, Kate Spackman. She was like, I attended a little 3-hour get together on Zoom, and she had it up like this, and I'm like, why is she holding that way? Well, I want you guys to all get your seal out or your Seal Plus, and I want you to take it, get some paper, and I want you to angle it up straight up. And then you tell me how much easier that is for you. This will roll perfectly. So give that a try while I'm creating this card. So then this is just a 3x4, and I wanted to just mute those little kind of speckle things. I don't know what they're called. I'll call them speckle things. So I added the vellum just to tone it down a little bit. Then we've got this little banner here that came as one of the punch outs. I also need the green, but I don't think I have an extra green, so I might change this one up a little bit. Just want to make sure I don't. So it doesn't look like I do. So I can let's take this one because I don't think I used this one. So I'm going to see what this looks like. It kind of resembles mountains, but this is more of a flower card. So it could be, let me think. I'm doing this on the fly right now, you guys, so just bear with me. I think I'm just going to use it that way. So what I'll do is I'm going to take my multi-purpose liquid glue. I'm going to take my glue and run it on the edge here towards the top. Then I'm going to take my cap it, and put it in my nice little multi-purpose liquid glue holder. And then we're going to add this edge to edge. It's basically the same size, just by like a 1/16 of an inch, a little bit smaller. So that kind of gives me an idea. And I'm going to probably put this down here, but I'm not going to put it on there yet. So I'm just going to put this over here. And then this is just a scrap of white, and I'm going to stamp in, again, Night of Navy. We're going to make this Congratulations, because that's what the first one looks like. And let me find my stamp over here. Right here, I've got it on a D block. My Night of Navy. And just ink it up. Little tap, tap, taps. And then I'm going to just stamp it down on that white, because I'm going to fussy cut it out. Super fun font. Now, Night of Navy needs to dry for me. For some reason, it takes a little bit of time for Night of Navy to dry for me. So I'm definitely setting it aside. In the meantime, I'm going to have a piece of scrap paper here. We're going to create this little flower. So I used Pool Party. And it's right here. It's just a different blue. And my scrap of white, you just pull a scrap out. And then I'm going to take this stamp. Now this is a really big one. I have it on a E block. So it won't fit on a D block. So I had to choose an E block. So I'm just going to take the ink pad to the stamp because it's very large. And then I'm just going to stamp. I'm going to save my white here. So stamp this way. Okay. That's what it looks like right now. And now I'm going to highlight with the Night of Navy. And then that stamp, I got it to fit on a D block. It goes over the edge a little bit, but that's okay. You should be able to handle that. It's smaller than this one, so that's why it fits on a D block. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up pretty good. And now I've got, this is going to be two-step stamping, so I need to line this up over top of the 3 flowers. So I'm going to bring this closer to me so I can kind of see it, and I don't know if it's off camera, but I'm sorry if it is. Okay, so that's not too bad. It's a little off towards the right, but we'll go for it. Now, maybe I won't. I'm going to try it again. I'm like a perfectionist, right? And I know I shouldn't be, but I want to just give it a try because we have 2 sides to every paper. I want to try to get that stamped a little bit better on that second stamp. So just inking that back up with Pool Party. And then let's re-ink with the Night of Navy. And then we're going to line this up. I'm looking at that big flower. And then I'm going to look at those little or smaller flowers and just hover over until I feel like I've got it. Hopefully. See if I got it a little bit better. That's a little bit better, so I'm going to go with that side. So I think I have all of my stamping done. Yep. So now I need to fussy cut. So let me close up these ink pads so we don't make a disaster on my table here. And then I'm just going to cut this down so it's easier. And this doesn't take too long to cut out, and I'm not going to get it perfect because I don't want to spend like 30 minutes trying to fussy cut this out because that can be a little boring. So while I'm talking, or while I'm fussy cutting, let's see, who belongs to Paper Pumpkin, and what is your, like, why do you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin? So if any of you subscribe currently, let us know why you do. That would be kind of interesting for people that are watching. And then, do you have a favorite Paper Pumpkin kit? What has been your favorite? And then, how many of you guys have seen the new in colors? I have my pre-order with me in my craft room. It's in a box. I have not looked at it because I'm trying to control myself, and I need to get my other projects done before I even tackle anything from the new catalog. So if you're a current demonstrator, you are able to order from the 2022-2023 annual catalog as a pre-order. I did that on April 1st, and I chose 2-day shipping so I could get it here, because we know when there's a big kind of ordering date, it could take a little bit longer than normal. So I chose to pay the extra I think it's $21 now to get it second day. All right, that didn't take too long, right? Okay, so now let's bring this card in here. Now I'm just gonna kind of work with what I have here. I'm going to use my piercing mat too, because white on white really does not work very well. So basically I want to know if it's going to look good this way, or do I go this way? I want to put that flower over here. And then, do you remember when I was using this as a stencil, I wanted to cut it down, because it kind of, if I cut it down correctly, it kind of looks like a flower. So how did I do that? Let's see if I can, let's see. This, I cut here. And then I cut over here. I think I did. Yep, so that's what I came up with. And then I slid it under here. So right now we're just going to see what this all looks like. This is going to get popped up, so let's give it some dimension so we kind of see exactly what it's going to look like. Let me grab my pieces of my dimensionals, getting down there, almost down another sheet here. And I'm going to add 5. Could be a little bit too much. Maybe you could get away with 3, but I'm going to choose 5 today. Then let's take these backings off. Now, I'm not going to put this down totally yet. I'm just going to place it. Now, I know this Evening Evergreen really is not in the bottom here. It's Old Olive, but that's okay. So now I just kind of want to work with maybe putting it this way. Oh my God, that looks like a monster. No way. It could go that way, or it could go this way. I could put a pop of this color in here too, even though it doesn't, like, it's not in the base, it coordinates with this. And I think it needs a little pop of color. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to get this a little bit more brighter. So to do that, I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to run it along the Misty Moonlight panel towards the top. And then I'm going to center it over top of those banners. totally doing this on the fly. I have no idea what it's going to look like. And I'm going to trim these down with my paper snips. All right, and now I'm going to add this here. I think that's kind of what I want. So now this is going to get adhered straight down to the vellum. I'm going to use, again, my Stampin' Seal Plus. Remember, all the way up straight. And then, oh wait, which way did I want it to go? I'm going to place it because I need this little stencil. I'm going to go that way because it's totally mountain scene. I just need to move it to the right so it's equal on the left and the right there. Sorry, I'm really focused tonight. Okay, so that's good. I'm not going to press down there because I want to sneak this on underneath here. So let me just get a little bit of glue on here. You don't need a lot because the multi-purpose liquid glue does a great job. So I'm going to lift up that little mountain scene there, slide that little flower in there, and then give it a good press. And then push that down. You can also take a block if you want. And that works really well too. Gives you a chance to give a lot more pressure than just your fingers. So let's cap this. And now we're going to figure out where this flower should go. And it got a little stuck. So I just want to see if I turn it this way, will it look a little bit better? And just kind of flip it around. Definitely doesn't look good that way, right? Or this way. I kind of like how it kind of encircles this here. So I am actually going to put it this way here. Give it a good press. Then we're going to find that congratulations. And I'm going to fussy cut this out really quick. It's not going to be perfect, but it will do its job. Okay. This I definitely want to pop up, so we're going to take our mini Stampin' Dimensionals again, and we'll just, I like to take them off with your, take your pick tool, because it works so easy to do that. It is quicker, by the way. So I just use my tool here. Then we'll take our congratulations and just figure out where we want it. So I think I'm going to just put it a little bit down onto, oops, I want to get it over a little bit more. Center it, Karen, and straight. Okay. All right, this is definitely a different card. And I noticed I just didn't stamp that center there, so we're going to wing it. I'm going to try to stamp that. I did stamp it in Night of Navy, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stamp it in Calypso Coral, because that way I can take the Calypso Coral from here, and we're going to put it in the center of this little flower. All right, so that's not too bad. This one could be a flop, total flop, but it's okay. Oh, my cat wants to come in. All right, so then I'm going to just take these little jewels. I'm putting them in the center of this flower here. This one here. And I'm going to put them right here. Okay, so there's 3. Let's just add 2 more here. I'm going to put one right here. And let's put one right over here in this area. Okay, so here we go. So let's see what we got. We got 3 different looks here. So we got that one. This one I used Balmy Blue with Night of Navy. And then where is the original? And then this is what Stampin' Up! Had us do. So totally different look. I wanted to combine the 2 stamp sets because you did receive a second stamp in the March kit. So totally trying to use that on a lot of different cards so you can see how it works together. So I have not looked at any comments yet, so maybe I should take a second and kind of scroll through and see if there was any questions. Let's see. Okay. Kathy, there ain't no air out at 6:30 a.m. Sure there is. The birds start chirping at our house at 4 a.m. I just want you to know that. It's crazy here. All right. Thank you. Found them at Costco. Oh, thank you, Beth, about the craft fair idea videos. I need to get back onto that. That will probably happen sometime in May or June. Right now, I cannot do craft fair videos because they just take so much prep work. And I don't like to just show one. I like to show multiple items, like multiple list pads, so you can get a lot of ideas with different papers, so and different die cuts. Do you ever use the Stamparatus for the bigger stamps? I do not. I do not use the Stamparatus. I use my blocks, even the F block, which is a really big block. I don't use the Stamparatus. I know a lot of people do. I had my retreat a couple weekends ago, and the Stamparatus was used a lot. It's just personal preference. Denise, I love getting the paper pumpkin box goodies every month. I usually make alternatives. Sometimes I'll make one of each for a project. Yeah, awesome. I won't have the patience to leave my pre-order in the box once it gets here. Mine, you guys, I bought a lot of stuff. And I'm probably going to do a opening of my box on Sunday. So stay tuned. I might. Because I need to get into it and I want to see it all and I need to get through this first. Nice glue holder. That's right, Deb. Thank you so much. All right. So, okay. And someone broke her magnets. Yes, but that's okay because now I have like 4 magnets, I believe. So I have, instead of 2, I've got 4 and that's okay. All right. So that's our little commercial break. We're going to move on to, let's see, what's the next card I need to make? Let me see. Oh, this one. This one's real. This is my favorite. So hopefully I won't screw it up. But also with Paper Pumpkin, they gave you this little ribbon. So I'm not sure what it's called, but it's with Pale Papaya. So here's the back side of this one. So let's just take a look at this one here. I'm going to have to cut, use my paper trimmer. And I hopefully will remember everything about this one. So let's find it over here. All right. Oh, I got to do some die cutting too. Looks like I'll bring in my mini cut and emboss right now. Since I have an open area here. So where did I put it? Here it is. All right. How many of you guys took advantage and purchased one of these mini cut and embosses when they were on sale for 48 bucks? I actually bought another one and it arrived today. So now I have 2 to bring to my in-person classes. Plus my larger machine too. So I always like to take advantage of those sales. I do get my Stampin' Up! Products on sale every single time because I have that 25% or 25% off discount every single order. So that's kind of nice. These dies are called, I can never remember, seasonal labels dies. And there's 19 in the set, and those are carrying over to the next annual catalog. It does fit on the mini cut and emboss, barely, but it does work. So I've got plate number 3, then I've got number 2, then cardstock die, and then I'm going to top it off with number 2 very carefully. And we're just going to feed that into the cut and emboss. You'll hear some cracking, and that's okay. Sounds like you broke the machine, but you really did not. So let me just fold this up and put it off to the side. It stays on my desk all the time, unless I'm actually cleaning my desk. I'm still like revamping my craft room. It's taking forever. Okay, so that is part of it. Then the next thing we need to do is, there's no way you can probably tell, but I have an envelope that I cut down. It's underneath these 3 panels. So, and then I also cut down one of the green envelopes, and I use that on the inside. So let's tackle that next. Again, I'm going to use my trimmer to do this. So I've got one of these green fabulous envelopes here. I do need to remember to use leave one of those strips for the next card. But I'm going to cut down here on the edge, just about a 1/16 of an inch inside. So it's maybe a little bit more than that, but just a little strip, cut that off, flip it over, and then you're going to trim up again. So then that opens this up here, okay? So we've got this huge piece. This needs to be cut down 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to actually cut right on that fold mark. We'll save this. And then I'm going to cut, actually I'm going to cut a little bit of that off because I don't like how that looks. Now I'm going to cut this at 4 inches. Save that for your envelope. And then I look at this and say, what do I, because I need to get this at 5 1/4. So that means I'm going to be just cutting off a little bit, basically 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to cut off from this a little bit more of that white. So now this is all set for the inside here. Okay. Then, okay, then I need to take, oh man, you guys should see my desk. It's not even funny. It's so crazy right now. Bear with me. I just gotta find the card. Got all these envelopes over here. I'm just gonna have to stack it up. I don't like it when I make it. Oh, it's right here in front of me. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here's our card base of Old Olives. So it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then I'm layering a piece of the Evening Evergreen, and that is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So then this one here needs to be 3 3/4 by 5. A little bit less than that. So I'm going to just cut it right now because my brain in math does not work very well. So I'm going to just trim that off right there. And then I'm going to trim off this bottom white. Basically, I'm just trimming off all of the edges here, getting it down a little bit. So I know that this needs to be 5 inches. So I do want to trim off probably a little bit of this down here. So right now it's currently, it's almost 5. It actually, let me see, it's very close to 5. It was 5 1/16. Okay, so that one's all set. Well, almost all set. Because my math, I hope I can get this right. Hold on just a second. I want to see. Because if I screwed this up, I don't want to screw this up. So let me just grab my pen and I'm going to just mark it here. What I want is 3 strips of 5. Oh, I didn't do it right. So One's going to be a little bit, I'm trying to think. Yeah, man, I wish I would have. Okay, what's 1 1/8 times 3? That's, of course, that's 1, 2, 3, 3 3/8, right? I'm pretty sure 3 3/8. Somebody tell me. 3 3/8 right before I cut. My laptop's 20 seconds delayed, so I'm waiting. That makes sense. 3 3/8. 1, 2, 3 plus. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Okay, so 3 3/8. I forgot that part. So basically what I'm gonna actually, there's some white on the edge here. So let's just trim that down a little bit more. And then the same thing on this side here. We're gonna trim that down. And now let's see where we need to go. We need to go 3 3/8. So that's that mark right there. And I'm just gonna trim off a little bit more. So there, got all those little things off. So now we're gonna cut 1 1/8. And you want to keep these in order. Again, it's like a puzzle. So 1 1/8, 1 1/8, and then the other one should be 1 1/8. So I'm going to stack them like this. Now let's get rid of the trimmer. And I'm going to bring in my evening evergreen. And this is what it's going to look like. We want to make sure that your pattern is correct. Okay, so it is. And then I'm going to adhere the left and the right. And then I'm going to leave that center one for last. That way I can, if I kind of mess up a little bit, I can at least space this one out accordingly so it's centered. So let's flip this one over, and we're going to use definitely my liquid glue so I can actually move it over. All right, so we got that on there, and then we're going to adhere this right over. I'm going to take this one out, just put it over to the side. We're going to take our glue and add it to the back. And then this one's going to get adhered over on this side. Now, I doubt you can tell. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, man. I forgot that paper underneath. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. We'll just get a different look. So what I was saying is I had an envelope piece underneath this one. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this will give us an opportunity to see what it looks like, something different. So this panel here is going to get popped up. So I'm going to give it some dimension. And when I do that, I can wrap that ribbon around. See here, I wrapped it around underneath that middle section and to the inside of the card here. So you can see that ribbon on the inside. So let's try that. Let's grab your Stampin Dimensionals. And I'm going to grab a different sheet here so I can use the bigger ones. So I added, let's see, 1 in 1. So I actually work with the outside edges there. I'm going to add 4. Just because this piece needs stability. And then let's just take these off. And then this is going to get added right here. And then before it's 100% stuck down, I just want to make sure it's good, which it is. Now that ribbon. Somebody can come to my craft room and find the ribbon. Oh, I just found the Misty Moonlight Stampin' Spot. Okay, so here's that ribbon. I just have a little bit left. All right, so I'm going to add the knot. I'm gonna put it over here. So to do that, I'm gonna slide this underneath that middle panel. and then it should come out on the other side, which it does. Okay, then I'm going to bring it all the way around. Okay, just like that. Then I'm going to, let's see, I don't want to use too much of this. Okay, so let me grab my scissors here. I'm going to angle cut this off. We're going to end up fraying the edges. I just thought it would look a little bit better if the ribbon was frayed on the edges. So now I'm just going to create just a quick knot bow. Hopefully I have enough ribbon here. Get in there. Come on. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to cut this down to size. And then angle cut this one. Now, this seems a little harsh to me. So what I did was I took my Take Your Pick tool and I gently frayed the ends just to give a little, I think it gives it a little bit of softness. I'll bring it up to the camera in a second. So here you go. So see how those are frayed? I just thought it looked a little bit better. So now what you can do is this card here is stuck down right to the old olive. On this one, I'm going to pop it up. So to do that, we'll just, again, going to add our Stampin Dimensionals to the back of this panel, and I'm going to add 5 of them. So bring them in about 1/2 inch from each corner. And then, of course, one in the middle. Press them down really good, because if you don't, they're going to just come right off. All right, old olive. Then it's going to get centered on here. Now we're going to take one of those foliage pieces, either this one or the green. This is bigger, so this one will flow a little bit more, like that, all the way over. This one we could put together, but I think it might be a little too busy, don't you think? So I think I'm just going to stick with the green, because it's all kind of green anyway, and there's really not a lot of yellow. So all I did was I used my liquid glue again, and I just did some little taps. So there's just a little tiny bit of glue on each of those petals or leaves, whatever you want to call them. And then a little bit on the stem. That's all you need. Then your fingers will probably get a little sticky. There's not a lot to hold on to, and it's very flimsy. So then I'm going to sneak this right underneath that ribbon. And then we're going to fan it over to the middle of this panel here. Use a block if you want. If you don't want it to get on your fingers, you'll just get it on the block instead. So you'll have to clean that eventually. Then you want to make sure that all the leaves are over top, so they're on the front, just like that. And then this one here. Okay, then we're going to stamp. Finally, we're going to stamp. I did not like how old olive looks on here, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to use Evening Evergreen instead. So let me grab that here. And I'm going to make this a Thinking of You card, because I kind of think it could be a sympathy card as well. And Thinking of You is in this set. And I'm just going to stamp and wing it and see if I can stamp here. So the biggest thing here was I wanted to get as close as I can to this straight edge here. And then we're going to fussy cut the rest. So let me just stick my head in there. Sorry about that. Okay, that's going to be better. This darker green is going to be better. Okay, so let's close this up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep that straight. And then just basically, we're going to round the corners here and go in and just trim this down. Okay, then this is going to get adhered right to the DSP there. I was thinking I could pop it up, but I'm not quite sure I want to do that. So I'm just going to take my Seal Plus and add it. Make sure the ribbon is good and straight. And then I want it over that ribbon. Actually, yeah, I want it right there. Okay, so that's a little, darn it, it's a little crooked. Okay, it's okay. So then we're going to take that envelope piece, right? And we're going to add it to the inside. And on the back side are those little dots. We got one more card to make, and that was the one that was a total different card. Totally 100% different. Okay, here's that green piece. The die that I cut out is going to go on there, and I didn't stamp on it. You could totally stamp on that if you wanted to. And then let me take my seal. So remember, seals, your seal is straight up. Straight up. It's an 100% it's going to go for you. You could put it this way, or I'm going to go just this way because it's better. That I think it's portrait's better. Then you can, oh, this is really pretty too. I like this, definitely like the green. And then let's grab our rhinestones. I'm scanning my desk. They are somewhere on here, you guys. I should take a picture after and post it on my Facebook page, what my desk looks like right now. Okay. Do you guys ever get that way? Like when I create, I start with a clean desk and I totally like have about 2 inches left by the time I'm done. So I'm just going to add 2 up here because it's kind of an open area. And then let's go 1 here. I'm going to put 5 on this card here. Let's jazz it right up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's sneak 1 right over here. So 5. You can also take that, take your Wink of Stella and let's just give it a good tap so it will sparkle. And then the envelope that I would choose to go with this one, I don't really know if I have a green one left. I kind of don't, so that's okay. This is what it would look like. And see how that flap, it's like already totally fine. You could stamp on it thinking of you. I'll do that for you in case some of you don't know that you can do that, right? Stamp your envelopes, why not? So I'm going to stamp thinking of you on the front and call it good. All right, we got 1 more card, you guys. And that one is going to be, hopefully, oh wait, I didn't compare. So let me compare for you guys. So let me find that other one, this one. All right, so here's the original paper pumpkin. And then this is the one I made with the envelope underneath. And then this one just has the evening evergreen. So I'm glad I actually did that because then you can kind of just see another version. If you don't want to cut up one of your envelopes, then just use your cardstock and that will work too. And what happens is what happens here is that evening evergreen is pulling out this little mountain scene here. So that's what it does for me on my side of the camera. Okay, so is there any questions? Oh, Debbie, you got a mini cut and emboss. That's right, you did order that at the end of the month. Awesome. Okay, we should have a mini cut and emboss party, you guys. Cut up the paper on almonds. Do you make others to send cards? So I cut the if you cut up the paper pumpkin envelopes, do you make others to send the cards? Oh, yes, you can. Or what I do, Pam, is I just use a medium basic white envelope. Or you could make your envelopes out of designer series paper as well. That will work too. All right, so next up is that flower card with a highlight of the envelope. So let me find that one. And this is totally different from what we have been creating tonight. But they gave us this stamp, 2 different stamp sets, and one was floral and one was just kind of like, let me just show you. And I totally don't think you can see this, but here's the one that's floral. And then here's the one that normally would have been just this one. I did not use hello. Maybe, oh, I don't have another block, so I'm going to make celebrate. So we're going to make this one. I can't guarantee it's going to come out the same, but I'll try to make it with the same colors at least. So we have, Misty, let me find the kit. Bear with me for a few seconds. I know I already cut it up. It's ready to go. I just got to find it. This is a great time to take a break and go get a drink. Somebody needs to get me a drink. All right, I guess I gotta stack everything up again because, oh, it's right here. It's way up here. Okay, so here we go. This is a bookbinding fold, okay? Can you see what it has another extra score line there? So we are going to kind of, I need to actually, I saved one of the scorings to show you guys. So let me get that scored first. So what you're going to want to do, this is a 4 1/4 by 11 Misty Moonlight, and I've already scored it at 5.5, which is the center. Then I'm going to score it, so I'm going to drop this side back to 4.5, and take my scoring blade and just score it like that. Okay, that's all we need this. So then I've already burnished this one here. And then I'm going to burnish this one the opposite way. And let me just grab my bone folder. Okay, so then see that? That's scored here, 5.5, and then 4.5. Before we can adhere this down, we need to wrap that ribbon. And I honestly don't know if I have enough left. I hope I do. But if I don't, I'll just grab something off my wall. So this is all I have left. Let's see if it works. I'm going to just take this little masking tape off here. Hopefully I can. Maybe not. Let's see what it's going to... Oh, it's not even long enough anyway. So hold on. Let me just grab something that is... Oh, I'll do this one. I'm going to use the sheer ribbon here. Okay. Actually, first I need to put that designer series paper on, Karen. Okay, so I cannot use this yet. So I used an envelope to put a little strip. So here's that example here. Can you see that little 3/4 of an inch strip? So let's see what I can find here. Oh, I'm going to use this. I'm going to cut this down because this is Calypso Coral and this flower is Calypso Coral. So let's throw a little bit of spring color in here. And this is one of the punch outs that you got. So you need this to be 4 inches. Okay, and then this is going to be, it's 1 inch or less than 1 inch, really. So I want this to be 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and that's going to go right here. Okay. So let's adhere this down. I'm going to use my liquid glue. And then this goes right here. Simple. This is a very simple design. You can, instead of stamping, you could use designer series paper and call it good. Okay, so there's that. Now I can string that ribbon around. I'm not sure if this is now the right color, but I'm going to go for it. And let's see, I'm going to make a bow. This should be good. And the way things are going, I'm going to grab my tweezers. I haven't seen Lee lately. Maybe she's watching. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, this is not working here. Sorry. She's the one that gave me these tweezers. I've got a ladybug flying around my head, you guys. Can't see it, but it might just dive down all of a sudden and land right on my paper here. Okay, this is a little loose. That's okay. We're gonna adhere it down with a mini glue dot. So let me just angle cut this and this side here. I'm gonna take my mini glue dots. I think I said mini dimensionals. It's a glue dot, you guys. And just add it here. That way now that's going to stay put. So that's kind of prepped in the front side. Now this is what we're going to glue down. So you can simply use your liquid glue to do this. And then just keep it, since that ribbon's on there, you can go this way and just rub it, okay? We want that to stick. So that is gonna get set aside. It's actually almost stuck, but I'm gonna set it aside. Now I'm gonna stamp. So what I did was I started out with a piece of basic white, which was cut 4 and 5 1/4, okay? So just a typical inside panel for your cards. I used a Stampin' Pierce mat. I also need some scrap paper because we're going to stamp over the edge. So I'm going to try to make it like this, but we'll see how it goes. And we'll definitely need our Stampin' Scrub because we need to clean our stamp every single time, or else you're going to contaminate your ink pad. This needs to be sprayed. I use the Stampin' Mist. So that's all prepped and ready to go. I'll try to be fast. So here's the Calypso Coral. And I do need to actually clean those because we've got blue on them from a previous card. So we'll do that really quick. I knew this was going to go long, so I said an hour and 30 minutes. And it looks like I'm going to go over a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so now we're starting with the fresh stamp. And again, this is super big, so I take my ink pad and I just add the ink right to it. When you're using reds or pinks, your stamps are just going to definitely get stained. Doesn't hurt them, so don't worry about that. All right, so I'm just going to stamp over here. Okay. Then I'm going to take that detailed stamp and ink it up so it's basically tone on tone. So then let me just kind of hover over here. All right, so you can kind of see it's tone on tone. Then we're going to clean these up. Sorry about that. I kind of just made a wicked loud noise. All right, we're going to put this aside in case I go back to it. I want some Night of Navy ink. That will be the next color. Okay, again, take your ink pad right to the stamp. And now don't go with a repeat. So make sure we don't want it to go like the same direction because then that's boring. So just put it on wherever, like I'm going to go this way. Okay. Then we are going to take that detailed stamp again and add the blue. Okay. All right, so there's the blue. Now we're going to clean the stamp one more time, or the stamps one more time. I'm gonna add crushed curry. The ink it calls for bumblebee, but again, I don't have bumblebee. So the next closest color in my mind is crushed curry. So here's the crushed curry. And then I'm gonna land this one over here. All right, that does, you know what happened? It still had a residue of this color or something. So it kind of muted it a little bit. It looks like I don't know, like sorbet or something. I don't know, like those ice cream. Okay, so we got to go this way. Definitely a different yellow. Okay, so then the next color is going to be, I think I used pink. No, I used pale papaya. So let's grab pale papaya. I know it's going to be 4 it's an even number, which I don't like. But I'm not going to stamp the big flower. I'm going to stamp the smaller ones. So I'm going to make sure I cleaned it and then I stamped it off. Sometimes I forget to do that, and I think that's what happened. Let's see what comes up on this one. Yeah, so see what happened? That's what it kind of had some little, I think it was Night of Navy that was actually on that stamp. So again, one more time, you guys. Getting there. All right, now I don't want one of the bigger flowers. I want the little tiny ones, and try to keep it off to the corner. Okay, then the detailed. Okay, that's looking good. Now we need to accent it. So I'm going to take the little center of the flowers here, and I'm just going to do opposite kind of colors. So for the Calypso Coral, I'm going to add the crushed curry. And then I'm just going to stamp this down. That'll clean it too. I'm going to take Night of Navy, and I'm going to take that and put it over here. And take my Stampin' Scrub. And let's take the Calypso Coral and add it here. And then I'm going to take Calypso Coral again. I like Calypso Coral and Night of Navy together. So that's that. The next detail we need to add in are the leaves. So I've got those on an A block. Let me just close this up. I just need, colors I need left are Old Olive and Pale Papaya. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. All right, so now I'm just gonna add leaves, and I'm gonna do first generation stamping. And I'm just gonna put them wherever I feel like I can, just to fill up the white areas. Let's add some over here, here. It's kind of like you're making your own designer series paper. I might go back to the Old Olive, but right now I'm just going to set that aside. And then I'm going to use this other stamp. It's like a 3 dots. And I'm going to do first and second generation ink or stamping. So 1 and 2. Again, 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now I'm going to look at it and see, I think I want to put something right there. And I don't want it, I want it second generation. And the reason why is because I had first generation here and it totally would not, it wouldn't look good, I don't think. All right, so one more time, let's add a little bit right here. Okay, so that is my designer series paper and I'm just going to stick with it. So let's close up our ink pads here. The one ink pad I do need is blue, but we're going to die cut a little bit later. Okay, so what I did was this, is I cut this down to, I'm just going to double check, a 4 1/4 by 4. So we're going to get our trimmer out. And again, this is already 4. So you just need to rotate it. And so 4. And now this is going to be 4 1/4. So I'm going to trim off. Hold on, I'm taking a peek. Trimming that off. It at least seems like it's too much, but yep, I did okay. Okay, now, oh, yeah, it was. Phew. Now just decide I want to go this way with it. I want this shown a little bit. So then we're going to take our Stampin' Seal. And again, get that Stampin' Seal up straight. If you haven't tried it, get your Stampin' Seal out and go straight up. It looks so awkward, but look at that. This is like almost empty, so it's not something like brand new. I gotta go this way so I can see it all. We're gonna slide this in, and it's about a 1/4 inch border. Okay, that is good. Now let's take on the inside here. What I did was I took this, and it's going to get adhered to the inside panel, but you know what? That's not sticking very well. I'm going to have to fix that. Or I could slide it under there, but I don't want to do it that way because then you guys won't know. So hold on. Let me fix this. It is not sticking. So I'm going to take my Seal Plus, hopefully. If that doesn't work, then we're using tear tape. Okay. This needs to be, that white panel, I'm pretty sure it needs to be 3.5 inches, but I want to double check with Mark's ruler here. So let me just double check. Yep, 3.5. So 3.5 by 4. So this panel here, I just need to cut down to 3.5. I did stamp on this one too to make it all look really pretty. So what I'm going to do is, oh my gosh, I got to stamp again. Ooh, this is a long one. Okay, so we're going to make this, since my kind of highlight color on this card is the Calypso Coral. And on the inside of the example card, I use the crushed curry. Okay, so I'm going to jazz it up again. I'm going to take my, I don't remember what color I used last. So we're just going to clean that one, clean this one. And then I'm going to stamp off here. Make sure it's clean. Grab my Calypso Coral. I like a pop of color. Then I would like this bigger flower. So I'm going to stamp that right down in the corner there. Then we're going to take that detailed stamp and just going to put the detail on this. Oh boy, goes this way. Okay, and then the inside is going to be, I'm going to make it actually all Calypso Coral. That's okay. Now we need that message. Okay, so there was a message inside the original. This is a birthday card, so sending you birthday wishes in Night of Navy. So let's grab that Night of Navy, and we have our stamp over here somewhere. Let's see, just grab the wrong one. Okay, sending you birthday wishes. And that's going to just get stamped in Night of Navy at the top. And we'll call it good on that one. We also have our Celebrate that we need to stamp that one too. So I do have a scrap over here. This is a long night, you guys. This is probably the longest I've ever stamped live. So it's fun. All right, so then Celebrate is going to be here. I did die cut that out. So somewhere I have a die cut. Here it is. I can't believe I just found it. So that is that, okay. And then I have a scrap of the Misty Moonlight. And unfortunately, I have no idea where that die is. So I don't know what to do here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so that's going to get die cut out too. I thought I would be a little bit quicker, but that's all good. If you're with me still, that's perfect. If you're not, that's okay too. Okay, so we're going to take our mini cut and emboss again, and we're going to take number 3, number 2, and then I've got to send these through one at a time. Very easy to do. So 3, number 2, cardstock, die, and number 2. So crank that through. Cracks, that's all good. And then we'll get this one going. This one will be a little bit trickier because it's got to get on there just perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Sandwich that in. Crank her on through. Okay. So here's the 2 die cuts that are going to get layered together. I thought they looked really nice. And then I'm just going to use 1 strip of that seal and center those together. There's our little focal point. We need to add our Stampin' Dimensionals to here because it's going to get lost if you don't. So let's bring in our card again. So if you put it straight down on there, it's gonna kind of definitely get lost, and we don't want that to happen. So let's add our Stampin' Dimensionals. Gonna give it a big lift up. I'm just gonna add 4. Okay, then I did add, there's a little piece of one of those banners underneath there. I don't think I have one left. So I'm just gonna, let me see, this one might work. I'm not sure. No, it's not long enough. But what you could do, just rip that off. Take some glue here. And just add this little piece under. And then this one can go this way. No one will ever know that it's not all the way across. Then I'm going to take my paper snips. I'm going to trim this at an angle, both going the same way. Okay, so that just adds a little bit of something. Then let's take our backings off here. Then we're going to add this right to the front here. Before, I just want to make sure it looks pretty good before I just adhere it all the way down. Looks pretty good. Now we'll work on the inside here. So, I totally stamped that wrong, you guys. Of course I did, right? I'm not going back. So, oh my goodness. So let's figure it out. Okay, so if we, oh Lord. Okay, so I want to see what I can do to fix it. Because, oh man, I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm not gonna, because it's gonna be it's getting too late. It's like 9:15. So I'm gonna just add the embellishments to the front of it, and we'll call it good, and we'll pretend that the inside is complete. And so what I'm going to do is I added these to these little flowers here that kind of need a little something in the middle. So we have 3 of them that are showing. So we got 3 down there, and let's put one up here. And then over here. Let's put one. I'm going to put one right over here. Okay, so what I'll do is I will, I'm going to, if you want to stick around, stick around. I will redo the inside there so you can see it. What I did wrong was I stamped the wrong way. So I should have stamped with the 4-inch at the top, but I didn't. I did it this way. Okay, so we're going to fix that. If you want to stick around, you stick around. And if you don't want to, well, that's perfectly fine too. So I just need to cut this down and start over. Because eventually I'm going to need to stamp this over. So why don't I do it right now? So this was 4 by, I think it was 3.5. Yep, 3.5. So 4 by 3.5. Okay. Then I don't want it to go that way. I want it to go this way. Okay. So this way. So let's keep it that way. This way, that way, whatever. Okay. So Let's clean these one last time. Oh, I think I did clean this, and it's just, I think I've been using too many dark colors. So it's taking up some of that ink. So I'll clean this tonight. So I'm going to grab our Stampin' Pierce mat one more time, and we will take that Calypso Coral. And I'm going to just ink up this one at the same time. Why not? Then this larger flower is going to go in the corner here. And then our detailed there. The middle, I'm going to, again, I'll just use it, Calypso Coral. Okay, then our Night of Navy. And sending you birthday wishes. Okay, that's not too bad. A little crooked, but that's okay. Now, let's fix it. So, it's going to go this way, right? And then remember that piece that I had cut off? That's going to be your accent piece for the inside, okay? So, let me just show you what I did over here. And what I did was I did cut this one down a little bit. So you can do that very easily. Or you can just tuck it in under if you want to do that as well. So either way works. If you do it this way, you're definitely going to see your seam here. So I'm gonna stick this one down a little differently than the first one. So again, our seal straight up. Looks awkward, but trust me, you got to try it. And then this is going to get, I'm going to actually adhere that stamped panel to over top of the white. And then this is going to get added here. And you just got to figure out which side you want it to go. I kind of like this one up here, so that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll add this strip here. Okay. I think I did it. Anybody still with me? Oh, it looks like we have 14 people. Sweet. All right. So let's take a look at this one. We ran out of that ribbon. I'm going to clean this area up here. So that's the one I had a sample of. I ran out of that, so we added the Pale Papaya ribbon there, which is carrying over, you guys. All those ribbons are carrying over to the new catalog, which is awesome. So if we want to see all the cards we made, and that was possible with the paper pumpkin and alternatives, let's get them all out here. So we've got this one. We got a lot of cards here. And I have, I think I have some panels left as well. All right, so then there's this one. Put these here. So that's 2. My favorite one is this one here. We've got this one. So that one is this one here. This one I couldn't store. That's an even evergreen. And then here's this one. Oh, and then I like mine better. Just because you can see that. And then here's this one. What else do I have on my desk here? I know I have more. They're just kind of everywhere. So if you like paper pumpkin, all right, that's $23.50 every month. I did say I was going to show you my card club. That is actually, it costs a little bit more, but you're going to get more for the money. So it's $39 a month. And we are using, it's so late, you guys, my brain is fried. Bamboo Beauty is the stamp set that I used. And then I teamed it up with Symbols of Fortune, okay, and Wayne Castella and Champagne Rhinestone. So for the month of April, you're going to make 8 cards and you're going to make 2 of each design. I'll show you those in a second. You get all of the card bases, the panels, the die cuts. Here's that one. And you will not receive it stamped because that's against Stampin' Up! Policy. However, you will get all of these, so 2 of them, 2 panels. You will cut your own designer series paper. However, you get a full pack of 6 by 12. There's this one. This is my favorite one, but they're all really nice. And then see, here's this, and since you don't have to use the pattern that I use, you have your choice because you have all those designs. You have 12 designs. This is just the one I chose. I liked the little bird here. And then here's this. You'll get 2 of these die cuts, one in Smoky Slate and one in Basic Gray. I teamed those up, and then this gold foils underneath, so you'll get a strip of that. Inside, I didn't show you the inside of this one. Let's go backwards here. So this is a top fold card. And see, I used Bamboo Beauty, which now is on back order, but it's coming in April 21st or thereabouts. Evening Evergreen is the ink I used that one. I love how the bamboo stamps. So that's that one. And then the bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that breaks. It's a Japanese proverb. This one's side fold. And again, that bamboo, I used the designer series paper with a Stitch So Sweetly. Stitch So Sweetly is retiring. But we have some really awesome dies that are coming out. So be on the lookout for those. This is a tearing technique, which I love to do. And then here's the bow punch, which is carrying over with crumb cake, soft succulent, and then there's that little tulip and crumb cake. And then I did the oval die, or punch that out with the double oval punch, so you'll have that. And then on the inside, I took that piece that we tore off and I brought it to the inside, so you can put that on the white panel. All the cards come with white panels unless the card base is white. And then here's a simple kind of a thinking of you or a sympathy card, really. Very clean, crisp, and elegant, especially with the gold foil there. This is a specialty paper, so it costs a little bit more. And then here's the hexagon dies, so you'll get those. And then on the inside, I used that foliage and I did triple stamping. So Evening Evergreen and first, second, and third generation ink. Of course, you can use whatever stamp set that you have. You don't have to have the Fortune, the Bamboo Beauty. But that's what I'm using for the month of April. I always focus on a stamp set, at least on sometimes a bundle. So if you're interested in this, you need to be on my email list to get the link. If you are not on the email list and you want to join tonight, then just shoot me an email, inspiredbygram@gmail.com. So inspired by by Graham, Gram, like my grandmother, @gmail.com. So great deal, $39. That includes shipping or delivery if you're in my area. And I want to check and see if there's any questions. If there's no questions, then I'm going to sign off and pack my bag for tomorrow. So let's see what we've got here. So thank you for all the comments. Wow. Okay. Carol Schaefer, my desk is the same with Easter Project. Thank you. Better with the evening. Yeah, I think Carla, definitely that DSP does stand out much better with the Evening Evergreen matte. I love bookbinding cards too, Teresa. Yes, ladybugs are good luck. I have this stamped ladybug on my desk. See, she's on my desk. Of course, we are sticking around. Thank you so much for your support, you guys. I do appreciate that. Just cut the first one and put a strip of TSP next to it. You know me, Debbie. Pretty cards, thanks for alternative ideas and comparisons. You're very welcome. Flower card is very beautiful. Thanks for demonstrating a stamp background. The 3-strip senior is great too. Thanks. Thank you, Pam. All right, so I think that is it. And there's a comment from Carla. So again, if you need any information, you can just shoot me an email. I won't be around email tomorrow, but I will be probably later that evening. Probably tomorrow's my day off, and I will be back in my craft. Oh, sorry, just dumped a tray. I will be back in my craft room on Sunday, and I'm going to be designing on my checklist here. I've got my team agenda and my sales, team sales for that month, and our projects that we're going to be doing next Wednesday. I'm working on a free with a purchase class, home decor, masculine card class, and my customer thank you card. So I haven't got my tear tape yet, so I'm waiting for that to send out my customer thank you card. So that's all on my agenda, and I'm so happy that I'm semi-retired because I can do all this stuff and craft with you guys. So you guys have a fabulous weekend, and I will talk to you soon.